of this toaster, okay, the first thing you have to ask yourself when you have a technical object like this, and I'm asking you about primary inputs, secondary inputs, primary outputs, and secondary outputs, in order to figure that out, ask yourself, what is the overall purpose of this machine? So let's look at this toaster. What is the overall purpose of the toaster? To toast or cook bread, right? Now, that being said, if you can look at a machine and you can determine its overall function, that will go a long way to understanding primary and secondary inputs and primary and secondary outputs. So the first thing you've got to ask yourself, and we're going to do the primary input first, is you've got to ask yourself what material is necessary in order for this machine to work. So we remember that a primary input must be an object, a material that is needed in order for the machine to work. The primary input is the material we need, and in this case, it is bread. Okay, and think about it. What is the point of a toaster? What is its overall function? It's to toast bread. Okay, you don't have any bread, you're not going to toast anything. So the primary input here is going to be bread. Now, secondary inputs. You've got to ask yourself two questions here. Do we need any other materials? Nope. What type of energy is needed to start this machine? In the case of this toaster, the toaster is plugged into the wall, therefore it needs to use electrical energy as its input energy. Okay, its secondary input will be electrical energy. Now we've got our electrical energy, we've got our bread, the toaster does its thing, okay? So what is that primary output? So when I'm talking about a primary output, what am I actually talking about? Before you tell me what the primary output is, tell me what a primary output should always be. It should be a material. My primary output is going to again be the changed or the altered material. Okay, so we're going to put that here as an altered material. And in this case, what is it? It is?
The bread is toasted.
Toasted bread, okay? So, toasted bread. Now, in terms of secondary outputs, notice how I pluralized that, because there's always several secondary outputs. Secondary outputs can take two forms. They can also be material, so any additional material made that is not part of the purpose of the machine. Case in point, the apple peeler, you get your peeled apple, but you also get what? You get apple peeling. Okay, that I'm making a pie, I'm not going to put apple peeling in my pie. I'm just going to actually put the apple, the inner part of the fleshy fruit. Okay? So with this, for my secondary output, do I have any additional materials created? In the case of the toaster, okay, I have a cleaning lady that comes to my house, and one of the things that she does once a month is she actually empties out the toaster, because that is a fire hazard. If you keep crumbs at the bottom of your toaster, and every toaster out there has a little flap that you can actually open up, and you shake the toaster and all the crumbs fall out. Okay, that's actually a fire hazard. That it can, you know, using your toaster over and over again, burning those crumbs at the bottom can actually cause fires. Not often, but it happens. So in this case, crumbs are the additional material. Okay? So in addition to any additional materials created, secondary outputs will also include any and all energy transformations. Okay? And there's usually the big three, right? There's usually, most often, anytime you have a machine that has many parts and those parts come into contact, that creates what? It creates friction, which is a form of thermal energy. Now, it just so happens, what does the electric energy get transformed into in a toaster?
I think chemical.
Nope. Thermal. It gets hot. Okay, so thermal energy. What else? Yeah?
Acoustic.
In what way?
Like when it's done and it pops, usually it is a sound that
When it's done, it pops or a bell goes off or something to let you know. Just a sec, we're going to finish this. So we've got thermal, we've got acoustic. What else do we have? Ooh, radiant. Why radiant?
there's like a light on the inside that.
The coils get super red and they emit light and heat. Okay, so radiant. Now, when you look at this machine, this is properly analyzing inputs and outputs, primary and secondary. Okay? I will post this video this afternoon. It will be on the YouTube page. Okay?